Right, I'm going to be a little circumspect here because there are people inside praying. This is the Church of St. Zachariah. St. Zachariah was the father of John the Baptist, and this church was built to house the relics of St. Zachariah, including his bones. Honestly, I'm going to dispute the veracity of that, just on general principle, but it's very, very nice inside. The nave itself is pleasantly symmetrical, although the building itself is not entirely symmetrical. It has an annex off that way, which is that. But the nave is. The colours are very muted, but almost all of the left and right walls of the nave are covered in frescoes, but they kind of have a frame around each one, so it kind of has the impression of paintings, as it were, but just very, very large ones. It has an array of mini antechambers behind the sacristy itself. There is a crypt and an annex that I think I might try and go into. But like I say, I just wanted to come outside, give you a touch of the history, because this place construction began in the 9th century, but like much of Venice, especially after Venice ascended as a massive military and economic power in about 1000 AD, and especially the 3 centuries after that until it really reached its height. It was this as it currently stands was built in about 1550. Moro Cosina, I think, was the architect. But I really like it inside. As I say, the colour scheme is kind of muted and some might say dark. It has strategic kind of windows up top, which does provide a lot of light, especially in the sacristy at the back. But yeah, it's an interesting one, and it has this fantastic, I'm going to go with like false gate with painting with a fresco where it continues. It's like you're walking through the gate, and the denizens are painted therein. Anyway. This is the crypt underneath St. Zachariah. Right, the crypt underneath St. Zachariah, which judging by this brick walkway here is permanently underwater. This is the oldest part of the church. I mentioned earlier that it was expanded and extended in the 1550s. This is the oldest part, so this is 1100 years old, this area. And yeah. I don't know how old that mosaic is, but it's old. So I'm standing in the Golden Chapel, which again is part of the original 9th and 10th century building that was expanded and refurbished after quite a serious fire in 1100. But you can see, for one thing, why it's called the Golden Chapel, because The appointments are really quite something. But then also, you can see you have the modern, the 500-year-old stuff, but then above that, you have the original frescoes. And up there too, angels flanking. Pretty cool. It's a lot of it is being renovated. You can see gantries and things being covered up. Apparently, there's a sign up here saying 150,000 euros has been raised to restore this. Damn straight. And once again, this is plexiglass, but you have the 15th century stuff, and that's the original altar. Yeah. This little place is called the Chapel of Sorrows. I do like names like that. Yeah. Arise, riders of Theoden. Yep, couldn't help myself. Right, end of the line, for me at least. This is the Arsenal. As the name would suggest, a military fortification at the 1670, controlling access and having dual sally points for the Navy to protect and control the bay. And as you can hear, it's midday. So I'm going to find a supermarket and get myself a beer. Okay, so I found a co-op. Co-op currently have a deal for a large bottle of Peroni for €1. So I walked in there, got one, put it in the freezer, left, came to this spot, sat down, had some tea and the rest of my sandwich. 15 minutes later, went back and got the cold beer. I highly recommend that as a paradigm. Anyway, obviously there are a variety of ways in which you can do Venice. I was sitting in this very spot 20 minutes ago, and a lovely, very attractive couple rocked up in a gondola, hopped out, and the guy paid the gondolier his 90 euros for the 30-minute ride around this area. That's certainly something you can do. You can pay the 19 euros to hop to the other islands on the Vaporetto. You can stay in Venice itself, and it'll cost you, but it is a fantastic place. Or you can go full frugal. I mean, it's 3 days until I get paid, so I'm in full frugal mode. Today, I spent €3.50 on the train. I put 10 euros for the tower, put that on the credit card. €3.50 for the side chapel in St. Zachariah's. A €2 espresso in a very small cafe with no Wi-Fi and with plastic flowers on the table down a small alleyway. And €1 for that, and that's it. It's an amazing place to get lost, and believe me, you will. But if you lean into it, embrace that you're getting lost and just go on side quests. You see a cool alleyway, go down it. Sometimes it'll be a dead end or end up in the water, but you can backtrack easily enough, and you'll find so many cool little things. Yeah, fantastic place to be. And obviously very high up on many people's bucket list. I will come back here some other time. But yeah, good times. Anyway. That's kind of wish I had both. Right, the ancient fish market, obviously sympathetically located on the Grand Canal over there, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Honestly, Sluice is on the floor, of course. Honestly, I don't actually know whether this place is still active or not. Well, I can tell you, either way, still smells of fish. Okay, little things that make me happy. Having just literally followed my nose with the help of a compass on my phone, I found my way back to my little corner key. It's like literally kind of like a step of alleyways to get to, and it's also someone's front porch. They seemed very nice when they saw me there yesterday. It's not literally their front porch, their front door opens onto it. Let's see if it's uninhabited at this time. Oh, I had such a good time there yesterday. Just sitting on this crossroads of canals, watching everyone go past. Let's see. Yeah. Endless fun. Time for some tea. Okay, an interesting point here. As erudite people will know, the Mediterranean doesn't really have tides per se. It's too shallow because the Atlantic is like that, and then it goes up, and then you have the Med way up there. So it doesn't have, the moon doesn't have the same effects on the Mediterranean that it does on the oceans. But my feet are touching the water, whereas yesterday they were 6 inches above it. So this is what I would classify as Mediterranean high tide. The nice part is I am going to take off my boots and my socks and dangle my feet in the water. I do have not one but 2 scarves in my bag with which to dry them before putting them back on. Anyway. Yeah. So, final thoughts really about Venice, because I'm headed back to the train fairly soon. I'm going to go back to the hostel, have a meal, have a nap, because I was awake at 5 o'clock this morning. And yeah, but I've had an absolutely lovely time. Of course, Venice is awesome. Everyone knows that. There are a variety of different ways in which you could do this. Obviously, it is a massive honeymoon, anniversary, family stunt vacation that you can do in increasing amounts of style. There's a lovely septuagenarian couple just across the way there having lunch on the veranda on this little crossroads. I am doing it on an absolute shoestring. Cheapest possible place. I'm paying 180 euros for 7 nights at the hostel. The train, it's a 15-minute straight shot on the train to get here. It's €1.45 each way. And yes, I went to the shop and I cooked and I've got my own food. And I'm being careful with money because, as I mentioned, it's 3 days before payday. But you can do it on an absolute shoestring, which is great. A happy medium might be nice. I'm looking forward to payday when I can afford to splash out just a little and buy a couple of cigars and have a few little luxuries here and there. But I've spent almost nothing today. Highlights, well, aside from the obvious and Mark Square and the amazing historical places and architecture, people watching. Obviously it's easy in my situation. My favourite today was a pair of stunningly beautiful, I'd say probably 50-year-old identical twins. I was sitting outside of Zachariah having the first round of sandwiches and some tea, and they rock up and they're almost moving naturally, just in time, synchronized. They were, as near as I could tell, absolutely identical twins, dressed identically, except that they both had the same watch, but one was rose gold and one was silver or white gold. That was the only distinguishing mark. They were just moving the same way. That was fun. Kids obviously everywhere, fairly unmanageable because obviously it's a very exciting environment. A massive spectrum of humanity. This place, this spot is my absolute favourite place in the entire of Venice, because I'm on the crossroads of canals. There's no one here except for that couple over there and these nice people who were kind enough to be nice to me yesterday when they opened their front door and here I was. This is paradise, because I'm just sitting here almost completely alone, peaceful, quiet, my feet in the water, with tea and all the rest. Yeah, it's just a fantastic place to visit, and obviously justifiably is very high up on many people's bucket lists. Anyway, so as always, if you made it to the video, thank you very much. If you like what I do and how I'm doing it and how I'm talking about it, please do like and subscribe. Have a good day.